Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Now you can hear me, right? God damn it. Uh, guys, just let me know real quick in the comments. Can you hear me? Um, because if you can't hear me, yay, sound. Thanks, Glenn. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, Ecam. This is their last week with Ecam, dudes. I canceled the subscription and everything, so I have to get the thing right next week. Yeah, so the plan this week was to also get a lot of stuff done, including figure out the new streaming platform I'm going to use. And I didn't get to it because stuff happens. And Muddy H Show keeps asking me what guitar he's going to buy and then doesn't buy a guitar. So, and then he says, I don't buy guitars. It's a whole thing. Anyway, let's have a Saturday night live session. Why not? This is a beer. I'll tell you about it in a second. But for now, sludge. Well, interesting. Okay, so for those of you, because everyone always wants to know, this is an Austrian beer. It's called Hell. So, it's by Stiegel in Austria, and it's called Hell, and it's kind of light. Wasn't expecting it to be light, but there you go, light beer. Why not? Because that's not normal. I see it's all in German. I didn't know. Anyways, Scott Bogfoot was here at first, as he always is, most weeks. Let's talk about guitars and everything, by the way, guys. Don't forget to let me know if there's any stories or anything you've seen or cool ideas you have for guitar stories. We'll get into as much as we can over the next hour and a bit, maybe 2 hours. We'll see how it goes. Usually it lasts more than 2 hours. So yeah, if you're first time here, make sure you're subscribed and stay subscribed for at least a minute and then say hello to us. It's very important. The new folks coming in and say hello. So if you are at your first Chord Dave live experience, say hello, because only some of the people here are a bit crazy and the rest of us are worse. So yeah, Scott was here. Richard was here, but apparently is invisible. All right, Richard Clark, good to see you. T is here. Good to see you, T. Hope all's good with you, and Ryan as well. Hope you're well, Ryan. Lots of good times with these folks in the thing. Scott's asking what's everyone drinking. He's drinking coffee. Yeah, not coffee. Drinking hell, apparently. Be interesting. People have different tastes. Scott says, what's the next movie you're going to watch? I'm thinking about watching the first Toy Story tonight or Hook. Both good movies. I don't know. I went to see The Flash yesterday. Was it yesterday? Maybe it was Thursday. Yeah, check out Carl's review on Carl's movie film show of it. The movie itself is quite good. If you look past all the other stuff, Michael Keaton as Batman is fantastic, as he always is, and it was quite enjoyable. So there's that. I don't know what the next movie I'm going to watch is. I don't know when the next movie I'm going to watch is, but yeah, I kind of have a hankering to go back and watch. The old Batmans, the 1989 Batman and Batman Returns as well. But I also want to watch, because it came up in a post today that I saw from somebody, Goodfellas. I haven't watched Goodfellas in a couple of years now, so might be worth watching that again. Or Casino, probably both of them actually. Those are both great movies. Anyway, enjoy either Toy Story or Hook. Good movies. Coke Zero is what Ryan is chugging. Good stuff. Enjoy that. I like Coke Zero. Gets a lot of shit, but I like it. Not to be confused with the Mexican cartel leader Coke Zorro. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Hook was a cool movie. Watching John Wick 4 tonight. John Wick was inspired by Genius. I have a story about John Wick, which I can't tell, but which I actually checked into and I can't tell. But yeah, it's a good series of movies. Was it the third one? One of them was not great. It might have been the third one. But the first one was brilliant. I love that series pretty much. It's good. I enjoy it. Glenn Bailey says, "Good evening, family. I am drinking lemonade. I hope it's hard lemonade, Glenn. But thank you for joining us. And you know, my friend, you always have a special place on Chord Dave Live. Just pop you in timeout now in just a second. No, we probably won't do that this week. But thank you so much for joining us, Glenn. William Forrest is here. Great to see you, William. Hope you're doing well, my friend, and that you're having a good evening. Scott says, I was hooked on pink lemonade a while back. Shouldn't be hooked on pink lemonade or anything else, Scott, but hopefully you're doing all right. Ryan says, I love the blood orange lemonade they have at Blaze Pizza. I gotta see if it's sold in stores or if I can make it myself. The internet, I'm sure, has an answer for that. I mean, I don't know what that is, but it sounds like I should make a trip to Canada. Anyone new here, welcome. You'll have to subscribe and wait 1 minute before you can chat in the best chat on YouTube. Yeah, you can chat here as well if you do that. And don't forget, Mr. Scott Bogfoot, our illustrious admin mod person, has a YouTube channel you should check out as well. Just click on his picture there, his pretty face, and you'll get to see him doing cover songs and stuff like that, and all sorts of other things, and it's a lot of fun. So definitely check out Scott's channel, and in fact, click on most of the guys. Some of the guys have channels. Glenn has a channel, some other people as well. If you want to shout out your channels, just be like, I have a channel. People can check out your channels. I'm not sure if it stopped snowing in Canada, but it's beautiful 78 degrees F here with a good breeze, enjoying the windows open and some 3-chord Dave. Good stuff, Glenn. Yeah, it is. We've had a pretty warm week weather-wise, just to keep you guys who are not in Ireland updated. It's been glorious for the last while, to the point where, like, you know, it got too glorious. It was a struggle to keep going, and you know those hours where you're at your day job. Yeah, it kind of gets hard to concentrate. And I'm lucky because I can pick up my work laptop and work wherever I want. Not that I would do such a thing. I wasn't actually in the pub this week when I was working. I wasn't. That was someone who looked like me a little bit. T says, going to switch to Erdinger. You're currently drinking water, switch to Erdinger. Okay, very good, very good. And Scott says it's 12 Celsius here today. Warmest day of the year so far. Jesus, warmest day of the year in June, and it's 12 degrees. Yeah, I'm not going there, man. It's up snowing here for a couple of weeks in July. That's about it. Snow all year. Yeah, Ryan, that's that. I can't sign up to that, man. I thought you got a good 6 months without snow over there, but yeah, it's gonna be a rough one. I'm gonna need to go to Canada next time during that 2 weeks where it doesn't snow in July. That sounds good to me. Let me see. It stops. Oh yeah, that's just, there we go. Glenn says my mother-in-law is from Canada near Ontario. I joke with her about the weather sometimes. You should be careful with your mother-in-laws. Sometimes they don't understand your Irish accents, and then you get in trouble for things that you say on your Facebook page. I'm just saying. Al says, Phil McKnight is saying that there's a PRS release coming at Sweetwater's Gear Fest. Any clues? There's all kinds of rumors floating around, but yeah, I'm not going to speculate on whether it's the Miles Kennedy Telecaster, if that's what you're thinking, but that's kind of what everyone's thinking. I hope it is, because I think those look great, and I like Teles and I like PRS, but I think they're going to bring them out as like private stocks if they do. What's coming at Gearfest? I have no idea, to be honest, from PRS right now, but I'll try and find out, sir. Glenn Bailey says, nice tune, Timer sucks, but I dig the jam. Timer, nice tune, Timer sucks, but I dig the jam. Yeah, the jam's pretty cool. Ecamm's Timer decided not to work. It also decided not to let the audio work. It's a pain. Ryan says, I'm kidding. I'm in Toronto and it's 23 Celsius today. Well, that's pretty nice. Al letting me know I was muted. Yeah, and indeed, stupid Ecamm. Not using it anymore after this week, I promise. Fire your producer. I mean, that just means I fire myself. I knew so a friend of mine invited me to a Led Zeppelin tribute act show tonight because it was his birthday, and I was like, I'd love to go, but I got a date with the 3-chord Dave community, so I kind of gotta go to that. So yeah, I'm not seeing a shitty Zeppelin tribute band for you guys. That's what I'm doing. So next week I think is the shitty Fleetwood Mac tribute act. All of those, the original bands, fantastic. The tribute bands, but I do have to say, some of the tribute bands, I'm only just kidding, some of them are really great, and I love tribute bands. I do go and see them when they're in town, the good ones that have good reputations. If you've ever seen a tribute band, who's your favorite band that's been tributed? And I'll have a bit of fun times about tribute bands as well later on. Glenn says, I say Miles Kennedy. That'd be, hopefully, Glenn, hopefully that'd be sweet. Scott says, I recently got a YouTube update. It could be very well be an older update. I only now I only now just that, but everything has changed. It changed for the worst. YouTube is fucking useless. Um, yes, indeed. Miranda, great to see you. Miranda says Dave is speechless. That doesn't happen very often, but for sure. Uh, I think it was better the other way when you couldn't hear me. Yeah, sorry, Richard. But we do love having you here, Richard. So thanks so much. It looks like Zig Heil. It certainly is a bit unusual. Let me see, just make sure that you can see. Uh, oh, it won't focus. The camera won't take that. But yeah, it's an Austrian beer. Stiegel. You think you saw it there for a second? I don't know why they called it Hell. It's quite light, so that's weird. Yeah, yeah. It's. I'm glad I bought one bottle of it and not any more than that. I do have another bottle of Stiegel, different one of their beers, and I'm not too excited for it now. It's fine, but well, whatever. They drink light beer in hell. Good to know. I mean, that's what I always thought, Glenn. To be honest, I've never been a light beer drinker. Have I? No, no, not really. Yeah, so I don't get the point. Ryan says, I think Muddy just enjoys finding reasons not to buy guitars, than actually finding one to buy, like reverse shopping. He does. And he accuses me of doing that, but he's worse than I am for sure. Um, Miranda says, good evening, everyone. And Richard says, yes, Glenn, Bud Light. Um, I know that here's here's the thing, right? I know that there's this controversy about Bud Light right now, um, with the whole the 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 thing with the putting the stuff on the can and the person whose name I don't even know. But there's the whole thing with them, right? I just think people should boycott Bud Light because it's a shit beer. I mean, honestly, I would have told you this before that whole thing blew up. I would never ever have imagined ordering one ever. I have no real opinion on what people do or what they how they want to be or anything. I don't really care. But the Bud Light to me is, I mean, I don't like Budweiser as well. Same crap. I'm pretty sure it's the same crap in a different can. So anyway, it's not a surprise to me that's not selling well at the minute. But not getting political about it or anything. I just don't understand why anyone ever drank it. Anyways, rolling on. Let's not have a beer argument. Ben Hallmark's here. Great to see you, Ben. Says, hello y'all. Hope everybody's well. Scott, my brother, how are you? Scott is your brother? That's weird. But anyway, let's roll on. Good to see you at Mike's show last week as well. A couple of you guys were at upstairs to the right Music's live show. Mike was doing his thing, which he does over there. I'd like to see you guys supporting other YouTubers. That was super cool. Let me see, what else have we got here? I want to rewatch Indiana Jones series, says Ryan. Yeah, absolutely, because there's the new one coming out in a couple of weeks, and it looks okay, but I've heard reports that it's not. Now that could be just people going, they're making another Indiana Jones movie. I'm gonna say it's shit. Kind of scared because I remember getting excited for the last one, the Crystal Skull one, and my friend and I, who were fans of the series, went to see it and came out of the cinema and were like, Jesus. That was kind of awful. We went for a drink. We hardly spoke to each other because we were so pissed off at the movie. But the first three are fantastic. So yeah, absolutely worth watching now. Benny Larson's here. Great to see you, Benny. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Great to see you as always. Richard Clark says the ending of Casino the first time through was just a mind blower. Yeah, it really is. I mean, there's so many scenes in Casino that just get you. One of my favorites, probably my favorite, like early scene in a movie ever. Opening scene is when Robert De Niro gets in the car and it blows up. It's like, oh, this is gonna be fun. So, yeah, it was a great movie. Glenn says I was hooked on pink lemonade for a while too. I drank it all the time. All right, it's weird insights to some people's lives on Chord Dave live this week. Ryan says I'm going to start a channel. It seems like the cool thing to do now. Yeah, everyone's doing it. Everyone just copies what I do, but like 3 years later. So here we are. Money H2O has arrived with a super chat, and he says Bud Light is to beer what Slash is to Les Pauls. Come at me, David. I don't know who this David fella is, but you keep talking about him. And you know what? I don't think so. But hey, you're entitled to your opinion, even if you are wrong. But thank you, sir, for the super chat. You're super kind, and everybody here loves you. Most 98% of people here love you. Who said that? Ryan says never saw 1984. 1984 is a good movie, but there's so much missing from the book that you should check out the book. Not to be promoting books every week on the show, but yeah, you should check out the book instead, because there's a lot left out, and the book's great. I read it when I was a teenager and thought it was the greatest thing since sliced bread, and then our lives became 1984. Kinda. Scott says, just don't come here with the black flies and mosquitoes are out. I don't really have any intention to get there, because you've told me how cold it is, but good luck. All the best. Glenn says, it only makes sense that I started a channel. I talk to myself all the time, but now it's okay as long as I have a camera in front of me. It's a good point. It's a very good point, Glenn. And yeah, it also gives you an excuse to buy gear at any time. You just be like, I bought a new guitar. Oh, I'm making a YouTube video about it. Don't check the bank account. That kind of thing is perfectly fine. So anyway, it's just the way it is. That's what you make YouTube channels for, so you can write off tax expenses for any guitar related purchase, because it's a business. And that's what I'll tell the tax people forever. Benny Larson says, I almost accidentally wrote bye guys. Good thing I got that one. I could have outed a bunch of you. That is certainly different night's conversation. We only do that talk on Thursdays, but thanks for letting us know, Benny. Ryan says, had to laugh at my cousin complaining about the 21 degrees heat wave in Dublin. I sent her a pic of my thermostat set to 21. It's different. It's even so I have a new manager in work, and she's from Portugal, and she's like, the heat here is way worse because of the humidity and the fact that our houses are not built for heat. They're built for keeping heat in rather than out. So, and we don't have air conditioning. And shut up. Yeah, because I know a lot of folks across you guys across the US and beyond, Canada, obviously, people in Australia as well, and they're all laughing because we're like, hey, it's 21 degrees, super hot, and they're like, no, it's not. What are you talking about? But yeah, it feels a lot like, I don't know, just it's more worse. Words. Ryan says, Benny, that's cookies repeating your search history. Glenn says, did Benny out Geek Lord? And I don't know. I think Geek Lord is pretty on the. Yeah, he's got like 75 kids now, so he's trying to prove something. Ryan says, yeah, Bud Light is terrible. And Richard says to Scott, meow, meow, meow. You get a bag and I'll get some hammers. Teach them cats some manners. Don't be saying that on the channel. We get demonetized. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I mean, hey. Ryan says, I didn't see the last Indiana Jones. Good. I'm happy for you. You should keep it that way. You'll be much happier. Yeah. And Young Chronicles Indiana Jones was an interesting show. A nice concept. I don't know if it was done pretty well. I can't really remember it, to be honest. Al says, word is new Indiana Jones is worse than Crystal Skull. Indy is played as a fool. I mean, I'll wait to see it myself, but I've heard similar things. Yeah, I've heard some scathing reviews from people, but we'll have to wait and see. It's out. I think it's next week or the week after. It's actually released. So I don't know. I'm worried. I'm very worried, Al. But yeah, I've heard the same. Dennis Ellis is here, says, we doggies. All right, Dennis, good to see you, man. Says, hello everyone, hope you're all doing well. I hope you are doing well, Dennis, great to see you. Glenn says, first Bryan Adams, now Bud Light, it never ends. This is what I'm going to end up not doing Chord Dave live about anymore. Just anytime I say anything, it just becomes a thing. So I'm going to just have to be like, yes, I'll just read your comment and not comment on it. That's what I'll do eventually. And you'll know I'm trying not to get myself in trouble, because I will. I do get myself in trouble quite often. And then it gets repeated for 2 years. So yeah, because we're still talking about Steel Panther songs and everything else. Black guitars, white guitars, anything else I said. Ryan says, really, Al, that sucks. Yeah, it does. Um, Ryan says, what happened with Bud Light anyway? So I'm not going to go into it, but I'm sure folks will tell you. But basically, they were supporting a movement and a person who's trying to. I'm pretty sure this. I'm not going to go into it. It's they tried a marketing publicity stunt and it backfired. That's what I would look at it as. Al says Disney just kills any IP it gets. Well, it's hard to disagree. Yeah. I mean, they can kill it by just overdoing it as well. That's the other thing. Like they're doing that with the Marvel stuff. I just lost all interest in that whatsoever. Um, Muddy says, Google is your friend with that one for Bud Light. I think so. Although it's gonna be it's weird. Al says Star Wars is dead. Indiana Jones dying. Marvel dying. I don't know. Star Wars. They've made some missteps with Star Wars, but they've done some good stuff as well. And you got to rifle through the shit to get to the good stuff. Some of the stuff I've really enjoyed that they've done um, with it. Some of it's been terrible though. Like the three movies, pretty much the three main story movies have been not great. Um, one of them's awful, like legitimately one of the worst movies I've ever seen. And but some of the standalone movies were okay. Like Rogue One is pretty good. Um, but yeah, they're fucking up a lot of shit. So hopefully they will. Hopefully Indy's not as bad as people are saying. That's all I'm hoping. Richard says they put Dave's picture on the can. That'd make it better, Richard. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. Um, maybe not. Ryan, they put Dave. Oh, there we go. Vincent Doyle is here as well. Great to see you, Vincent. Thanks for dropping in. Says went to see The Flash today and loved it. Although they could have killed Supergirl a few more times just to be sure. Vincent, I exactly the same. I loved it too. I thought it was great. I liked how they did a lot of the not to give any spoilers away, but they did a lot of fan service and they did a lot of hints at stuff and throwbacks and things, and I thought it was really good. A lot of Easter eggs, a lot of very cool stuff, and it was a very good movie, enjoyable to watch. Like it was 2.5 hours long. It felt like it was 40 minutes. It was great. Um, I just like those characters a lot better, and what's his name? Batman was brilliant. He's my Batman. Is Michael Keaton, always has been. Anyways, great to see you, Vincent. Glad you liked the movie. Glenn says, I want to see The Flash. That might be my next watch. I definitely do, man. It's very good. It's enjoyable. Al says, I'm waiting for Mission Impossible 7. That should always be good. Mission Impossibles are decent. We did talk last week about guitar kits, by the way. I wanted to bring this up early-ish in the show. And we have now got a contest. So, I mean, I don't know what the prices or anything are, but I bought a guitar kit. It's on its way. It should be here sometime between now and 2027. So when it gets here, I'm going to get to work. I'm going to make videos like going through the different stages, mostly like sanding video 1, sanding video 2, sanding video 3, and so on until we get to sanding video 64. And then we put a little bit of finish on it. And then we'll do sanding video 65 because there's a lot of sanding involved. But yeah, I'm going to do the kit build off situation. So if you want to be involved, if you want to take part in a little contest, it won't be like you're not going to win no guitars or nothing, but I'll come up with some books, guitar books or some cool stuff or something, and we'll send off some stuff to the most interesting ones. So yeah, let's do it. Let's say we set a start date. I mean, we won't set a start date too much, but let's say around first week of August, we will check in and see if everybody's working on it, and if anyone wants to send us in pictures, do it so on the Facebook group, because we have a Facebook group. It's pretty cool. And you can join that. The link's in the description of all the videos. So yeah, get yourself a guitar kit, any kind of guitar kit if you want, or just get a block of wood and start making a guitar. And give it about 6 weeks or so, I think we've got there. And we'll check in. And if you're not ready, that's fine. We'll hold off until everyone is ready. But yeah, let's do it, because I've got a guitar kit coming. I'm going to make videos like going through the whole kit process, and we'll have a good time. I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys come up with. And Muddy H2O is already excited about which color stripe is going to be on my guitar. And he's going to have to wait, because I'm not giving him any insider information. But yeah, I think it's going to be a cool one. And I'm excited. I'm really looking forward to it. So get that done. What else was I going to talk about on the stream today? Because there was some other stuff. Anyway, I don't know. There was something else. I was like, we'll get into that later, and I forgot. So anyway, guitar kits. Let's do it. Let's just do it, and we'll do some giveaways, some prizes based on the best designs or best overall guitar, that kind of stuff. So yeah, and be creative. Get or not, just get the kit and spray it gold. Do whatever you want. But yeah, let's have a little bit of fun with it, and post your progress on the Chord Dave Facebook group, because that's fun. Oh, I also want to say the Facebook group, it's mostly Muddy H2O who does admin stuff over there, and I have the power also. I just don't do it. But if you do post something on the Chord Dave like Facebook group, and you think something's gone wrong, we don't delete stuff over there unless, like, if someone's super racist or something, we're going to take that down. Or any kind of racist, we take that down. But if you're not being a dick, we're not going to take it down. So if you post something and it disappears, just come to us, come to me and Muddy, and be like, hey, what's going on? Because we've had a couple of instances where that's happened, and we just want to make sure nobody's upset with the group or thinks we're rolling them out or removing their stuff, because that's not what that's about. It's just about sharing information and stuff. And I would encourage you guys as well, if somebody shares a link to like their own Facebook or their own YouTube or anything that they're doing, any projects they're involved with, just check it out. Say hello, that kind of stuff over there. If you got time, don't worry about it too much, but it'd be cool to all support each other as we go. Anyways, let's get back into, there's not that many comments, so I'm trying to remember what I was going to talk about. Yeah, I don't know. I think it was just a guitar kit thing, maybe. Anyways, we'll find out in time. I'm sure. What was the big thing in guitar YouTube stuff this week? I mean, oh well, like the new Adam Jones came out, and nobody cared. So yeah, I mean, it appears now with the Adam Jones guitars, if you want one now, you can get one. The first couple of people scrambled for, and you had to be there the second they dropped, otherwise you weren't getting one. The fourth one has come out last week. The third one was still available. They've removed it from availability right now in most places, but you want the Adam Jones silver burst thing, you can get one. Now in Europe, well, at least in Thomann, they're charging $15.99 for them. I know they're still $12.99 in the US. With Sweetwater, I checked Sweetwater, they're $12.99. But yeah, here it's $15.99. It's way too much. The last one was $14.99, so we're going to get like $16.99 in the next one. And also the fact that it's number 4 and it's not selling fast makes me think they might have not engaged the market with these. So let me know what you think of those as well, because it's interesting to me that it was kind of an experiment and they've kind of dropped the ball, I think, because it hasn't worked. If they're not selling out after the fourth one, it hasn't worked. Let me know. Have you picked one up? An Adam Jones guitar? Not an Adam Jones guitar, but like the Epiphone signature model. Would you, or do you think they're not worth it? Personally, I don't think they're definitely not worth €1,600 to me. That is Gibson money. You can pick up a Gibson Les Paul for that. It's a tribute. And you could probably pick up a special as well, Les Paul special. But yeah, I mean, there's definitely ways to get Gibsons for that kind of money. And if you're looking in the secondhand market, you can get a really good Gibson for that money. So why would you buy the Epiphone? Unless you're like a super big Adam Jones fan, but apparently they all bought the first couple of releases, which is 16, there's 800 of each of those guitars. This is what I was going to make a video about this week, by the way, about Epiphone just taking their eye off the ball and how it's probably dangerous for them, because something like this where they've gone, oh, let's do 6-7 guitars, whatever it is. If after 1600 they've lost their market and nobody cares anymore, that's a big problem for them. But yeah, I decided not to make a video bashing Epiphone because I am trying to get Cesar to come on the channel to do an interview with me. Probably never going to happen, but I'm hoping at some point he will. But anyway, let's just dig back into it a bit. Where's Marcia? I hope she's okay. Yeah. Yeah, I know. She's usually here by now, but I'm sure she'll be around. Glenn says, Dave, don't take anything I say seriously. I don't, Glenn. It's just, it's everybody. No, it's all good. I'm not upset about anything. No, it's all good. I just I just know when something's going to run and run and run for 2 years, and then 2 years later it gets like, oh no, we're still talking about that's Steel Panthers. Someday my mom's going to watch this channel and be like, what are those things everyone's talking about? The holes. Don't watch, Mom. Everyone hit like before Marcia gets here. Yeah, do. That's true. Ryan says, are we doing a kit build off? Nice. I'll order one. Yes, we are indeed. Richard says, 2027. That's true. I ordered it last week, and they're like, yeah, we'll get it to you some stage. So I think the dude, I said this to Money Show, I think the dude is cycling over from China with it. I'm pretty sure these are all made in China, by the way. Guitar build videos. Yes, says Scott. Yeah, it's gonna be fun watching me fuck it up, but hey, we'll try our best. Glenn says the one thing that Bud Light's rep said on a podcast was that their demographic was older, out of shape drinkers and frat boys, and it wanted to branch out. There you go. I mean, it's kind of rude. All of our drinkers are out of shape frat boys. I mean, it might be true, but still. Hope Marcia's okay. Says Glenn, yeah, absolutely. And Vincent says Marcia is over on the KDH live stream. Oh, it's probably true. Marcia, if you're watching this at a later time, we know what you're up to. Glenn says there's a lot of sanding. Will there be any pickups work? Yeah, a very interesting choice of pickups has already been made. I won't be using the ones that come with the kit. And I will be winning all the prizes. Ernie B says, I'm all in on the guitar build. Great idea. Good stuff, Ernie. Glad to have you along, and thanks for joining us tonight. We will indeed have some fun with it. I think it'll be interesting to see people's creativity, and also seeing just some choices people make, whether they go it's like traditional standard colorings and finishes and stuff like that, or if they go a little bit crazy. I've got a very specific idea in mind for mine, and I'm gonna hope it works out. I'm gonna do a little bit of testing this week before this thing actually comes, and then obviously, and of course the big thing is it's gonna be it's gonna be a lot of work, because it's not going to arrive in like great condition, and it's going to need fret work most likely, and it's going to need a good bit of tidying up. So yeah, sanding and more sanding. I watched a couple of videos just to kind of see what people do on the build videos, the kit videos, and 3 or 4 videos people were making out of it. I think a couple of them were, how do I say this nicely, fucked up a lot of stuff and did it the wrong way. So one person, and they just completely went the wrong way with the finish. They didn't sand back the finish when they put their first couple of coats on, and they were like, this is great, I'm going to put more on. I'm like, no, stop it, don't do that. And then they finished it with an oil instead of a lacquer or any kind of regular kind of guitar finish. They finished it with an oil on top of a stain, and then they were like, well, it doesn't look good. Yeah, I know. You kept putting fucking oil on top of it. Anyway, we'll see. I'm not going to say my videos will be the definitive DIY guitar kit building videos, but I'll try and make them as good as possible. And if the guitar, the idea I'm going with, if it comes out well, it'll be a fucking beautiful guitar. I should stop swearing. I forgot I'm on YouTube. It will be a really nice guitar, and I think some of you will be really surprised by it. I think you'll love it, hopefully. But yeah, it's good stuff. I've ordered nearly all the things I need for it, and and I already have some of the stuff I need for it, because I'm not going to use a lot of the stock parts that come in it. Just the body and the neck really is all I'm going to use from the packaging. So yeah, it's going to be fun. So yeah, get involved. And if you want to get involved, register your interest on the Facebook page. Or like just go over and be like, hey, I'm going to do the guitar building thing. What else have we got? Richard says to Glenn, unfortunately, they forgot about the out of shape guys and frat boys drink a shit ton of cheap beer. I mean, yeah, that sounds right. Scott says a blue 335. It's not a blue 335. No. But I like what you're thinking there. You could do that for sure. It'd be a fun one. Richard Clark says the Stratosonic is everywhere. It is. And yeah, I kind of dig it, man. I really do. I think it's cool. The TV yellow one is out of stock for the next 14 weeks at Thomann. Someone just made an offer on something I'm trying to buy. Damn it. So yeah, it is really cool. And I saw Landon's video today where he took the bridge off, and it's an Epiphone. It's an Epiphone part on a Squier guitar. That's probably the most hilarious thing I've ever seen. That was great. Yeah, I should check that out for sure. And I will say the guitar sounds great. It sounds like when I was watching that video, I was like, I'm going to buy one of these things. And the only reason I didn't buy one this afternoon is because they're out of stock. If I can find one somewhere else, I might buy it. But then the danger is you go into a guitar website or a guitar store, and there's all other guitars you want to buy. So anyway, William Mazzotta's here. Great to see you, William. Hope you're well. Says, it's pouring rain out of nowhere in the Big Apple. Was sunny at dawn. No beach today. That sucks, man. But yeah, stay safe out there. Anyway, glad you're here, and thanks for joining us. Ernie says, I did not even know the new Adam Jones came out this week, man. I really am out of it. To be honest, Ernie, nobody is really talking about like the last few releases. I've made a video on each of the first 3 that came out, and I've done other videos going, here's the new ones that are coming out, and they've done quite well. But this time around, nobody was talking about it. Like everyone knew that they were coming out in June, because the last one was April, and then June, so it made sense that they'd be this week. But nobody cared, and like I didn't see any of the normal YouTubers I see talking about them talk about them. I didn't see anybody talking about them in my rumor mill, where people kind of usually leak at least a week or so beforehand that they're coming. Nobody was saying, hey, the Adam Jones ones are coming this week or next week or whatever. And I'll be honest with you, I forgot they were coming. And for someone who makes videos about new Epiphones and stuff coming out and other guitars, it would have been interesting. But I'm glad I didn't make a video, really. I still might make it next week and be like, hey, did you know it came out last week? Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, don't worry, Ernie, you're not the only one who was out of it. Scott says they dragged out the AJLPs too long. One per fortnight would have been better buzz-wise. Yeah, not too bad. I think what they should have done is maybe once a month. That would have, I mean, they'd be done by now because they started them in December, but they decided to make them last a year. I think it was a stupid mistake, but I think at this point as well, people who want one are waiting to see, will they do a plain back, like not an art collection one, which I'm still pretty sure is happening, but that we haven't got confirmation of that yet. But yeah, I think you're 100% right, Scott. Glenn says, I heard Marty Schwartz is getting a signature Epiphone. I hope that's true, because that'd be cool. I think Marty Schwartz is a cool guy. I like a lot of what he does. He's just out there playing versions of songs, trying to teach people how to pick up a guitar and have fun with it, and that's super cool. So yeah, I dig that. That'd be super great. It'd be fun to see what he'd do. Glenn says, I agree, Scott. I'm over it taking way too long. Yeah, I get you. Anything like that. But there again, I think the Adam Jones, it was an experiment in a lot of ways. See, will people go for that kind of guitar? Will they pay kind of higher money? Will they stick around with a release schedule like that? And I think they're learning not so much. But yeah, anyway, but there's still people who are going to buy one of each and try and sell the whole collection as like for $10,000 or $15,000 or something. And who's going to buy that? Nobody. Al says, I'm toying with the idea of buying the Paranormal Gibder, the Squire Strat with the 24.75 inch scale and the Epiphone tailpiece. Only thing is that the P90s may not be so good. Landon's making a video, I believe, about comparing them with his Gibson Les Paul Special. So definitely wait for that and check it out. And yeah, I'm going to watch it for sure. And if I can pick up one of those, I will, because they're sweet. I think they look really, really cool. And you know, I'm not a big Strat guy, but I think that would be a very cool one to have in your collection. Richard says, I heard that about Marty too. Good for him. You know how many people he has helped play guitar. Yeah, that's a very good point, Richard. He's helped. I remember talking to a guy when I worked in Apple, and he was like, he's a guy I knew played guitar a little bit, because I knew him from years before, and he said, yeah, I started playing guitar a lot because of a guy called Marty Schwartz on YouTube. I was like, I know him. Well, I know him on YouTube. But yeah, he's a cool guy. He does a lot of fun stuff, and I think that's the great thing. Marty's great. So yeah, very cool. Ryan says, yeah, Marty deserves one more than Rick Beato. Well, there you go. I like Rick Beato's signature, though. I hope they do reissue that at some point. I wouldn't mind picking up one of those. Chris from Coburg says, hello, it's barbecue chicken time with a side of ribs, coleslaw, and baked beans. Toot, toot. Cheers, y'all. I'll be back after cooking. Well, Chris, I'm hungry now, so thanks. Al says, Marty should get a signature Gibson. Yeah. You know, they do. I would say probably if they were gonna give him a signature, the reason they're giving him Epiphone is because there was a lot of backlash about Rick Beato getting a signature Gibson. So they might be worried, Marty's a YouTuber, maybe people will give out about it again. So that's probably why they're testing, what if we do Epiphone instead? So if they do that, I think it'd be great. I think I agree with you. I'd give him a Gibson signature in the morning, no problem. But it'd be cool to see his Epiphone as well, and it makes it more affordable. Hopefully, it won't be like 15 or 1600 euros or dollars or whatever as well. But it's definitely fun to see someone like Marty get a signature. That's cool. Richard Clark says, let's see if Geek Lord wants to be in the build-off. I think, yeah, you know, if you guys want to position it to him, definitely. I'll make a short video this week saying, hey, we're going to do a build-off, which sounds kind of rude. But a kit competition. Yeah, don't, by the way, I'm going to keep saying that, don't expect big prizes for this. Like, you know, prizes will be worth, like, I don't know, $20 to $50 max. But I might have 3 or 4 of them. And yeah, I'll do a video like just letting everyone know, because not everyone can come to the live streams, of course. And we'll have some fun with it. We'll make, I'm sure you guys are going to make cool guitars, and I'm gonna have a good one. I think you guys are gonna like what I'm gonna do with it, and hopefully, like, it'd be cool if we can get some attention on some of the guitars. So it'll be interesting. So do join us; it'll be fun. Glenn Bailey says, "I have an Adam Jones Artist Series backplate. I'm happy with that." Yeah, Glenn. Hey, if that works for you, man, that's cool. Yeah, they should just, maybe they're trying to promote that guitar for you, get you to buy one. Glenn says, where did all those comments go? Glenn says, does it start in August, or does it have to be finished in August? So it starts as soon as you're ready, and kind of like around the first week of August, we'll check in and see if people are finished. But feel free to start it tomorrow and finish it Monday. And put it up in the Facebook group. I'll keep a track of it, and by keep a track of it, I'll get Muddy H2O to tell me that there's stuff there to keep a track of. Yeah, that's what we'll do. We'll kind of aim, if you can, to have it done by the first week of August. If people need more time, we can have more time. It's not a problem. There's no set, like, it's not a set in stone final date or anything, but like around August, let's aim for. It gives us about 6 weeks. But yeah, as soon as you're ready, throw it up and we'll see what we think. Where are we now? Here we go. There we go. Money H2O with yet another super chat, because he's the most generous member of the Chord Dave community, and we do all have thoughts about him. Says, I'd like to see an Epiphone 3/4 size Chord Dave SG signature to help discourage the next generation from attempting to learn guitar. Thank you. I know Cesar's my friend and everything, but I don't think he's going to give me a signature guitar, Epiphone or Gibson or Orville or Dwight or anything. Maestro, I won't even get a Maestro right now until I tell him who my sources are, and he won't believe me if I tell him. So yeah, it's not going to happen. But if that did happen, maybe I would just go to 3/4 size guitar anyway. Maybe I would. Maybe we go with an ES125 3/4. Sounds good to me. Yeah, with instead of having a neck pickup and a bridge pickup, or a neck pickup or a bridge pickup, just have one pickup but in the middle position, just as if it was a 3 pickup guitar, but just the middle one. That's what I would have. That'll discourage people from learning how to play guitar. You just get no sounds that you ever want out of it. It'd be fantastic in a weird kind of way. Ryan says, Al, I think Epiphone might be a better fit for Marty, as a huge audience of beginners that will want one. That's a very good point, Ryan. Yeah, absolutely. Especially if he does something cool. And I mean, he's always playing that ES335, so it'd be interesting to see if it's one of those or something else. But I hope it's super cool and we can all get one. Let me see. Ryan, you have a point, says Al. How limited will it be? I don't know. But Rick Beato's was like, what, 500 or something? I don't think the Epiphones will be limited, though. They haven't really been doing limited Epiphones. They've been saying the word limited a few times, but for the most part, you can get them. I mean, obviously the Adam Jones, but you can still get them. But yeah, the rest of them are pretty much available still, I think. I should actually check the Mustaines, because I know they were having a hard time selling them as well at one point. And I always just go on Thoman's information if they're selling them, if they still have them in stock. Yeah, the Dave Mustaine Epiphones. Custom V is still in stock at $15.99. The Epiphone Flying V, the Prophecy one, that is $17.99. That's still in stock, so they haven't sold out of either of the Dave Mustaine Epiphones. Thoman did not get the Kramer in stock, and they also have the acoustic songwriters, because that's what people want when they think of Dave Mustaine. So yeah, Epiphone's not, their limited editions not doing great, to be honest. Ryan says, I'm going with a Tele or a Jazzmaster. Definitely won't just be a straightforward kit assembly. Cool, Ryan. Yeah, make it as cool as you can, as you want. I encourage all the time creativity, and you get bonus points for creativity and trying something extra out of the blue. I would encourage anyone who's going to do the kit build contest build off thingy. We have a good video from Crimson Guitars to check out. Last year, the year before, they took one of their own guitar kits, and Ben over there did some wacky shit with it. You cut lots of holes in it and stuff like that. I think they put some LEDs and things. I don't expect you to be like Master Luthier style building a guitar kit, but let your imaginations run wild. It's gonna be fun, and make yourself a kick-ass guitar. I certainly don't encourage just getting the guitar out of the box, bolting it together, and being like, I'm finished. Do something cool with it. Whether it's a cool paint job or finish, or throw in some pickups you got lying around or something. If mine works out how I want it to, it's gonna be great. Take inspiration from something that you've seen lately, a signature model or something, if you'd like, or make your own. Just make it your signature model, and it'd be super cool. And if you want to just paint it gold and put some stock things on it and maybe sign your name on it or something, that's cool too. But creativity earns more points. So yeah, I dig that, Ryan. That sounds very cool. Glenn says, I haven't heard of a release number. Well, there you go. Yeah, I'll definitely put my ear to the ground and see if I can find out more about Marty's guitar, if I can. Scott says a Jazzmaster would be interesting. Jazzmasters kits are quite interesting for sure. Scott says, I want an RD dressed up like a Firebird 7. Was there a RD custom 3 pickup? Geez, I don't know. Maybe I'm not too sure. Let me see. It was a Julie Heffernan back-to-back release. Yes, Julie Heffernan. Now maybe Julie Heffernan's not popular in the guitar world. I don't know. I'm certainly not too up with the what you call it, art world anymore, as I was when I was younger. But I'm pretty sure she is quite popular. I'm surprised that those ones didn't do well, but I think it's the whole release structure, to be honest. Ryan says, Marty already posted pics of his signature 335. Has a little Marty logo on the back of the headstock and everything. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, that's nice. I'm excited to see that. That sounds great. So yeah, I'll have to check that out later. Buglip says, I forgot today was Saturday. Sometimes I wish I could forget it was Saturday. Just rewind so that it's Friday night, and I have extra time not to have to go to work. Glenn Bailey says Marty is a really good teacher. Lots of Marty love going on, which is great. Buglip says Marty started me off too. Yeah, good stuff. And Marty's a fun guy. I enjoyed a lot of his videos. What was his channel called before it was Marty Music? It was something else. And I've been watching him that long. He had a different channel, and I think he sold it. But yeah, it was good. It was good stuff. Marty's, big fan of Marty's. Except for when he goes live just before I go live. Not a big fan of that, but thanks, Marty. Dave, have you ever seen Rawhead Rex? Doesn't ring a bell. I might have. I don't know. So many things that I have seen. So I'm not so sure. Let me see. Some Muddy H2O is getting some horns. Don't know why. So we'll say less about that. 3 Chord Dave's signature LP would have to be an Ultra 4 in Pelham Blue. It's an Epiphone Ultra 4, yeah, 3 Chord Dave one. That'd be pretty sweet. I'd enjoy that. I could give them some design tips for sure. Muddy H2O says, I'm already out of the build off. My OCD would force me to buy tools to outfit a professional luthier's workshop, in turn producing the world's first $9,000 kit guitar build. Yeah, it's okay, Muddy, we know. We talked about this already, and I'm going to make your OCD go fucking crazy. No, it's fine. It's fine. Don't get involved in our fun group activity that we're doing just to have fun, that you would totally get a lot of enjoyment out of. Don't do that. Don't get involved. I mean, look, here's the thing. When people say, oh, it'll cost $9,000 for the tools, you can use those tools on other guitars. You could just become a professional luthier. We're starting in a whole new career for you for $9,000. That's a great deal. So yeah, do it. We support you. I'll pimp your products on my channel if you pay me. Like ads on the channel are like $10,000. So $20,000 to launch your own guitar company. That sounds like a good deal. No, we got you. It's all good. Enjoy the videos of me messing up fretworks. That'll be great. Anyways, I really wish I could share this deluxe barbecue with you. Epic. We need a meet and greet sometime. I will barbecue. Hey, Chris, definitely you will be our designated chef. That's for sure. Sounds like you make some seriously good food. So yeah, every Saturday. Getting hungry because Chris tells us the food he's getting to dig into. Ryan says, that's a serious concern with me as well, Muddy. There you go. Yeah. I mean, you know, I get where you guys are coming from. But wait till you see what I'm using as tools. I'm just kidding. I have some tools somewhere. Scott says they must be out of Epiphone JB335s by now. Pretty sure Thoman don't have them. But I also heard they're not sold out in places. Yeah, they might have just pulled them off the market as well. Yeah, Thomann don't have anything from with Joe Bonamassa' name on it at the moment, not guitar wise. They have pedals and books and stuff. Um, Joe might have some on his website. Sometimes he restocks them after a while. German carve your guitar, your your kit, Dave. I mean, it seems like a lot of effort. So, yeah, I don't think I will be German carving it, but who knows? Maybe a future kit I will do that with. T says Epiphone, Dave, Mustaine, Flying V, Prophecy 16. And you also say the V Custom 15. 15.99 and 17.99 on Thomann. T. So yeah, just looking at Thomann's website, that's the prices. 15.99 for the Custom V and 17.99 for the Prophecy. Crazy prices. Muddy H. Rowe says, Ryan, I'll be here for emotional support. Well, you know, we'll all emotionally support each other. Why not? Al says, how did Dave catch up so fast? It must be this hell that I'm drinking. I don't know, but I've gone through every one of the comments, haven't I? Yeah, pretty much got them all. So yeah, that's how well. It's just you guys aren't as talkative tonight. I think we have a few less people. Maybe everybody's down at that Led Zeppelin tribute show, tribute band show. Who knows? But also, I think it does. I think the audiences tend to thin out in June, July, and then they come back in August. So we've only got the diehards like yourselves, and I do appreciate it that you are here. Richard says, I think the first Marty was called Guitar Jams. Oh yeah, Guitar Jams could have been where I was watching them from. It's all that, and that was a long time ago. I don't think he'd even started wearing hats or nothing. But now he's famous for his hats. Wasn't it Music with Marty? I think that was another one. I think he had like a different website, Music with Marty, but his channel at first, I think Guitar Jams. I think Richard's on that one. Yeah, that's it, says Ryan. Scott says, if I build a guitar, it would be like Homer Simpson's spice rack, and you would snag your clothes on the bent nails. Don't use nails. But but yeah, that's a great reference. That's what my guitar is going to look like. Yeah, it's a lot of it's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun to see what people come up with, because everyone has a different thing. I mean, maybe it's just going to be that push for some people to build their own guitars, like their own dream guitars, their own, like, I've always wanted to have a Telecaster that was purple. Build a purple Telecaster for the guitar kit build off. Why not? Yeah, and you know, nothing wrong with that. It's super fun. I'm not going to tell you guys what I'm doing. What I'm planning to do is going to be so interesting, because I'm going to mash a few things together, and it's going to be great. And I'm also going to have a lot of fun with some of the things. And I just realized, so I have some parts on another item, that another guitar that I have in the house, and I just realized there's something missing. I'm gonna have to get something else. Damn it. Oh well, it'll be fine. We got time. We got 6 weeks. But yeah, you guys will see my progress. I won't start working on it straight away, but a couple of weeks time, I think I should have some videos up on it. Anyways, Richard says the owners of that channel took that channel and tons of Marty's subs. He came back with his own channel from scratch and hundreds, okay, thousands again. Much respect. Yeah, and I think that's the thing. Like, that used to be a big thing, selling your YouTube channel, and I think you once you get big enough, if you have that audience, you can get them back once they see that you're on a different channel, because people will subscribe for someone like Marty. He's great. He does really good stuff. His personality is there, and I'm not surprised he's bigger than he was then. Right now, he's doing great. Al says, Phil McKnight said Marty started a channel and got to 1 million subs. His partner was difficult and he left. Started again. Now it's over 2 million subs. Sounds about right. Yeah, it could have been his partner. Yeah, I didn't know that. But yeah, it used to be a thing. People used to sell YouTube channels. I remember seeing them for sale all the time. 10,000 sub channel would be, I don't know, 1,000 euros or whatever, $1,000. But yeah, glad Marty's where he is. He's a good guy. I hear. Ryan says, here Marty doesn't make nearly What he should on his videos, though, due to copyright claims, I would imagine that's correct, and I think that's why lately, any ones that I've seen anyway, he's not playing exactly the song. He's kind of playing similar, and that should get him around the copyright claims. But yeah, one thing that I've noticed, well, when I watched Marty's videos, he doesn't put as many ads in as other creators do in a 20-minute video or whatever he's got. So you got to respect that, and I think he does quite well on other things like courses and stuff like that, which he should do. He's great. But yeah, he should be doing a lot of. He should be doing pretty well. Al says maybe because Marsha's not here. You never know, yeah, because she'd be telling us all kinds of things. Hope Marsha's doing all right, wherever she may be, even if she's over there with KDH. Who knows? Robert is here. Great to see you. Robert says good morning. Hope Australia's doing well this morning, Robert. Yeah, and where have we got? Buglip says, an August deadline is too close for me to do a kit. It might not even arrive by then, much less be done. As I said, it's a very loose deadline. Just putting it down there. If you want to take part, don't worry about whenever it gets done. I think just what we're going to do is we call it a start now, and whenever you get finished, pop it in the Facebook group. Why not? And we'll keep an eye on them. We'll do like a kit update from the first week in August after that. So probably every week in the live stream after that, right up till Christmas, we'll be having like, here's a kit update or a kit highlight or something like that from the build off, and a few people will get a couple of spot prize kind of things. That's what we'll do. So yeah, don't worry about it if you like think, hey, I won't have time between now and August. No hard deadline. Chris McCoburg says, has anybody seen any aliens in their backyard lately? Just wondering. I don't live in Vegas, but I believe that's where it happened. Although I'm pretty sure some of my neighbors are probably aliens. Those ones. But yeah, not lately though. Not lately. Bugler says, bearing in mind, have source a lefty. Yeah, lefty. Do they make lefty kits? I presume they do. Nail in the neck for sustain. There you go. Yeah, I suppose that might work. That might be a reason to use a nail, Richard, for sure. There's always aliens in my backyard. As long as they don't steal nothing, we cool. Yeah, but just don't steal nothing. It's all good. Yeah. Rander says, what do you guys think of the Fender Blues Junior Tweed? I have a Princeton, which is great, but just looking for an affordable amp to pair with for a stereo rig. I think the Blues Juniors are great, but I'm not a super knowledgeable amp person. But anytime I've seen them be used, they've sounded great. So yeah, I think they're pretty decent. The Junior 4s, is it? I think are the ones I've seen. But yeah, they're not too bad. Glenn says, I thought I saw 10-foot aliens in my backyard last week. I didn't have my phone. Damn. Glenn, I mean, you could have asked them to wait so you could take a photograph. Just be like, I mean, I believe aliens are very friendly. You just say to them, hey guys, I'll take a picture. Just stand still for a minute. And they will let you. It's totally fine. It's funny. I've had 2 UFO sightings in my life, and both times I have all of my cameras were out of range or batteries had run out and stuff like that. One time I had a professional video camera, a professional film camera in my my bedroom. I ran upstairs to get it. I brought it downstairs. I ran outside. I set it up on the tripod. I was like, I'm gonna get this footage, and there was no battery in it. So the batteries were on the charger, and then by the time I got the batteries, they were gone. It's weird. It was like this box just flew into the space, and then it changed direction, and then it was gone in like 5 seconds. Anyway, that's for a different YouTube channel, 3-chord conspiracies, which I'm very much looking forward to setting up. It's like my third favorite YouTube rabbit hole to go down is conspiracies. Al says, I have a Fender Blues Junior, not the tweed, but blonde. It's good. I'd love to get a Tone Master Deluxe. Yeah, Tone Master Deluxe would be pretty sweet. Richard says, aliens have 10 feet, so they have 10 legs too. That's a great question, Richard, and one that science needs to answer for us. Vincent says, spent weeks and weeks on a guitar build. Paint was the most labor intensive, but the neck didn't have a truss rod, so the guitar was not playable. Don't skimp on the kit. Yeah, that's I've seen that. I've seen that happen. And people don't believe you when you're like, this guitar has no truss rod. But it does happen. But the thing about kits, yeah, I mean, I think for someone like if you're going to buy like say a Harley Benton kit, you should be fine there. Those are, I mean, Thomann sell a lot of them, so they should be okay. But yeah, I would say like I didn't buy a Harley Benton when I bought a more expensive one because I didn't want a bolt-on neck. Not telling you you guys what guitar it is yet, just yet. You'll find out soon. But yeah, it's when I wanted a set neck in, so I have to sort that. It's another step to take as well. But yeah, I agree with you. Don't skimp on the kit. Get the best one you can. Ryan says, yeah, I might need more time than August. Maybe we should give it a deadline just for everyone to get it started and commit. Yeah, it's not a bad idea. What I'll do is I'll make a video this week saying when my kit arrives. I think it's going to arrive this week. I can't confirm that for sure because they haven't given me a firm date. But when it arrives, I'll make a video saying, hey, we're doing a kit build off. Get involved and, you know, I don't know. Whenever we start it, we'll just keep going. Like there is no hard deadline, but do your kits and we'll have fun with it. I tend to rush these things, so I don't know even what kind of dates to put on it. So let me know, especially in the Facebook group. We can have a conversation about it more over there, about what kind of time frames you guys want. So make sure you hit us up. Al says, I'm not entering the build off to join. I would have to get up off my lounge chair. I mean, that's fine. That's fine, Al. You know, we can, I'm sure, entertain you with some of the designs that people are going to come up with. And hopefully you'll enjoy some things. I do fully encourage crazy, zany designs. That's my advice to people. Chris from Coburg says, pretty sure the aliens would appreciate a paranormal or parallel universe series from Fender. I think they would. I think they'd be like, hey, these are like the guitars from our planets. The whole talks about aliens lately, because it's been ramping up again, whistleblowers and all that sort of stuff, has made me think, you know, if there are aliens out there, and I'm a believer that there is, and they come to Earth, there's so many things where we'd be like, you guys have music? Who's your Zeppelin? We would need to hear the alien Zeppelin, if you don't mind. Yeah, you know, do you guys have a Stevie Ray? We need to kind of check this out here. Have you got guitars on your alien planet? Let us know what that's like. Like, enough of this fighting and vaporizing people. What's your music like? Do you guys have movies? What's that like? You know, there's so much to learn pop culture wise. I can imagine like if peaceful aliens come down and they're, you know, they learn to speak our languages and stuff, and they're going around and they're like, so Dave, tell us what your favorite thing about Earth is. Have you heard Led Zeppelin 2? Fucking great. So that's, and what would you teach aliens about Earth? We're kind of getting off track here, but you know, I'd be very interested in what alien music and surely they have music, right? They have guitars. I don't know. Imagine they have like, the one theory a friend of mine told me is that it's probably just people from the future coming back. I'm like, that'd be sweet, because then we could find out what Gibson are doing next year and who owns Gibson in the future when they go bankrupt again. Who buys them? We'll figure that out. Fender buys Gibson. Can't wait to see that paranormal series. Anyways, Scott says, galvanized hardware on a guitar, is that too stupid for thought? I don't know. I don't know. I'd have to think about that. Miranda says, oh, yes, sorry, the Tone Master crossed my mind, but don't want to miss the tube feeling. Interesting. Ryan says, Scott, use sheet metal all around, all HVAC parts. Why not? If that's what you got, use it. Richard says, I actually think Dax Customs makes a guitar called the Iron Horse with corrugated stuff and a metal top. Yeah, and Colin, guitarist, has an SG that was made by some dude in France. That's metal, all metal. It's very cool. Um, Al says, I heard that the Tone Masters comes close to the sound of the tubes. It's also only £20, which is not too bad. Indeed. Al Miranda says, yes, they are very controllable volume wise, which is good to know. T says, I know you're talking electric, but Martin East India Rosewood OM Auditorium kit, 546. That's before VAT imported and delivery to Ireland. I mean, that's interesting. Yeah, if anyone wants to do an acoustic kit, we'll give you an extra week, because those would be a fun one to do. And you can get acoustic kits. I don't know if I'd have it in me to do an acoustic kit. It might be fun though. Get Marsha off my back. She was commenting on Instagram that I should get a real acoustic. I have a real acoustic. It's over there. It's a Tanglewood. It's a nice guitar. I just haven't touched it in a long time. But yeah, $546. Probably by the time you pay tax on it, you're talking 700. So yeah, would you want to pay 700 for a kit guitar? As a Martin, you might. Anyway, Martin East Indian. Sure. Definitely have to look at it. Buglip says, I went to see. I can't even. On Altair 4 before they went mainstream. Altair 4 is not the place you want to be going to see these bands. Al says, maybe Jimmy Page, SRV / or Aliens. Why do you think Slash wears his hat everywhere? There's something going on underneath the hat. That's all I'm saying. Miranda says, lol, Shredder Aliens. Yeah, it'd be sweet. Chris says, can't wait to hear the Aliens version of Zeppelin. Right? It's just, you want that flying saucer to land, it to open, and you just hear strains of Led Zeppelin 2, but it's like, it's different. But it's unmistakably Zeppelin 2 playing out. That's what I want. I want to hear the Lemon song. I want to hear the Aliens version of the Lemon song. That's my dream for Aliens. Ryan says, I'd love to know about alien music or whatever equivalent. Yeah. It's just like, you guys rock or what? Never mind all this political bullshit. You guys rock? Star Wars Cantina Band. There you go, Richard. Yeah. Proof that aliens play music, I think. There's no guitar in that band, though, is there? There should be. Robert Plant's real name is Robert Planet, and his vocal range, what else can it be? There you go. There you go. Jack Collins is here, says, I never liked Led Zeppelin. I'm a Stevie Ray Vaughan man all the way. You're entitled to your opinion, even if you're wrong. Just kidding you, Jack. Yeah, nothing wrong with Stevie Ray, man. But I am a Zeppelin fan, I gotta say. I would flip it. I'd listen to Zeppelin before Stevie Ray, but I do like Stevie Ray quite a lot. Robert Plant sucks is not true. What I'll say is, and again, I know I have to be very careful what I say is, Robert Plant is not of today, is not Robert Plant of the 1970s, late 60s and 70s. And he hasn't been that dude for a long time. So, and the music he does now is not the same. But Robert Plant is one of the best singers in rock and roll ever. His recordings from Zeppelin 1 to probably up to Physical Graffiti are really strong. I think he's great. I'm biased because I love Zeppelin, man. But yeah, I mean, Stevie Ray is great as well. I think everyone will appreciate that. Scott says, how far back in time have you come? What's the next Adam Jones guitar? I can show you that. It's on the Facebook group from a few months ago. It's that, I'm pretty sure it's that one. It's the Current Fault one next, I think. I'm pretty sure. The one with the ladies lying down, looking at each other like you're going to do some stuff together. Chris from Coburg says, if Stranger Things has taught me anything, is that rock guitar or guitar rock exists in all dimensions, planes, and universes. I'm out. and that I think is very true, Chris. I think rock music transcends all. Everything. Aliens will just come out rocking a Les Paul and a and an SG because they're cool. And Strats and Tellys and Jacksons and all sorts. To just come out with a big band just playing music, that'd be flipping sweet. How much is £20 American? Sounds like a deal. I'm pretty sure it meant £20 in weight. Because yeah, I don't know. We don't use pounds here, so I couldn't tell you. Um, it's a book 280, book 28 says that. Anyway, uh, conversions are confusing me. Um, Glenn says aliens are coming back from the future to see who started those fucking $4,500 Epiphones. Yes, Glenn, I think that's a great comment, and I appreciate it, and I do think that's going to happen. There's going to be some wild Epiphone prices soon. But then again, if they fail, like the Mustaines are not selling, the Adam Jones now starting not to sell. If this year's Bonamassa doesn't sell, if they bring out like a Slash Prophecy or something like that, and that doesn't sell, although I think we're more likely to see a Slash Custom, Les Paul Custom at this point, because he's playing one heavily on his tour, the Guns N' Roses tour at the minute. Um, but yeah, I can see them. I can see them doing all sorts of things. Dave Grohl's, of course, we're expecting um, huge prices for those. But we'll see. Yeah, $4,500 Epiphones wouldn't surprise you, would it? Jack Collins says hello to the guys. Hope you're doing well. Benny says Steve Vai is definitely an alien. I mean, he's not even behind the curtain about it. He's like, yeah, I'm an alien. That's how I'm so good at playing guitar. Uh, I agree with you, Benny. Good call. Scott says we come from the mariachi band planet. They said, oh, yeah, that's not what we're hoping for. Ryan says, or is there some sort of alcohol to drink? Have you got beer and have you got Zeppelin? Like, what Zeppelin stuff have you got? Have you got a band? Here's Zeppelin. Have you got them? Um, Satriani surfed with them since Miranda. Yeah, for sure. Glenn Bailey says if Perry Farrell from Jane's Addiction isn't an alien, I don't know who is. Perry's one of those, man. You wouldn't be surprised, but at the same time, he's a cool dude. You know, he's Perry. So that's all I can say on that. Ryan says Robert Plant, Freddie, Paul Rogers, and Chris Cornell are all great singers. Can't argue with any of those. Yeah, for sure. Um, yeah, that would be some gig if you were going and Robert Plant, Freddie, obviously posthumously, in some sort of fantasy concert venue. Chris as well. Chris Cornell, one of my absolute favorites. Paul Rogers is great as well. His timing with Queen was interesting. But yeah, great stuff from those guys. Glenn says, "What would an alien Slash look like? Just probably like our Slash, but apparently 10 feet tall. So imagine a 10 foot tall Slash." Anyway, Scott says, Dave, are you familiar with the story behind CCR? How many albums they made in such a short time? I'm not familiar with the story behind it. I mean, you're making it sound movie worthy. I'm not sure I know a movie worthy story of them. Ryan says, I'll have to look into this. I'll have to look for this, Scott. Yeah, let's tell us more. Alan says John Fogerty said that the manager was robbing them blind and that the rest of the band and got the rest of the band against him. I mean, John was pretty cool. So yeah, that's an interesting one. Beer and rock beam me up, says Glenn. Yeah, that's the dark side. In terms of the CCR story, I think Ryan says, imagine an alien band tour bus crashed here. That would be a fun story. The news. Yeah, that'd be a great way for it to happen. Is just they were just a rock and roll band touring the universe, and they crash landed on Earth, and then we found out that there are aliens who, I don't know, headline Glastonbury or something. Muddy H2O with yet another super chat because he's a super fan. Says aliens are coming back to gather a sample of Agnesi's leather to reverse engineer and use for future alien skin grafts. I mean, that might be true. Thanks for that. Uh, what an interesting theory about Mark's jacket, that he never takes off, despite living like in California where it was hot for like a long time, and now Nashville, I'm pretty sure, is a hot place, and he wears it indoors in his house and everything as well. There's something going on with that leather jacket, man. Anyways, thank you for that, Muddy H2O. You are one of our favorite people. Let me see. Al says, I love CCR, and CCR songs are fun to learn. They are. CCR is a great band. Glenn says, I think the Aliens tour bus pulled up in Scott's driveway a few months ago. Yeah, it wasn't too long ago, right? That was just, he just had some random aliens just turn up. Al says, the Aliens tour bus was Spinal Tap. Authentic Aliens, says Miranda. Yeah, you had to be playing authentic for sure. But yeah, absolutely fantastic. Let me see, can I get something new guitar wise for you guys? I know I have a picture that I did want to show you. Where is it? What is that? It's not that. Oh, here we go. Yes. So this, let me see. I need to quickly swap windows here. So give me a sec. This one, there you go, is the Bat guitar. This would be super cool. Saw this on Matt's Guitar Shop on Instagram this afternoon, and never mind the fact that it's a nice looking SG with the Batman logo. Dig that headstock, which I can probably bring into focus a little bit better. Look at that. That is a headstock that I think is awesome. It's even got the pointy things, the bat ears. Anyway, there's a guitar that I enjoyed checking out. You should check out Instagram for some guitar people, guitar shops and stuff, and of course Cesar Leak and all the Gibson stuff. It's worth it for that alone. Anyway, let me get back to what I was talking about, although that was a fun one. Something like 7 albums in 2 years. Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of albums in 2 years, but like bands in the 60s and 70s used to churn out albums quite a lot. I mean, there are always bands who took forever, but like the Beatles were only together for like what, 7 years, something like that. They're only releasing for 7 years, and they had a lot of albums out in that time. Yeah, Elvis was cranking out albums for the debt. A lot of people made a lot of money off bands, and the bands didn't make half as much as they should have back in those days. Thankfully they're making it all back now, but yeah, it's a lot of bad stuff went on with bands like that. 7 albums in 2 years is a lot. I mean, it's great for music fans in that time, but hey, we got some good music. Glenn says, if 10-foot aliens have 10 legs, will they have 10 fingers too? Those bastards will shred. I hope that somewhere there are aliens watching this show right now and being like, what the fuck are these guys talking about 10 fingers? I mean, also, how many fingers do you have, Glenn? So, anyway, Ryan says, maybe Agnesi is hiding some questionable tats under that jacket. Oh, I hope so. I really hope so. That would be super fun. You know, when you buy your $50,000 greenie or slash replica or whatever next year, and when we all buy them, we get to meet up and be like, hey, what kind of tats do you got under that jacket? Glenn says, Ryan, are you saying Agnesi has a Bud Light tat? You never know. Could be his favorite beer. Might not be. I'm just saying it could be. Muddy H. Rose says, Ryan, you talking about the Dean tramp stamp he has on his lower back? Oh, it'd be so funny if he had another brand, some way, shape, or form tattooed. That would be hilarious. Richard Clark says, if you played Jimmy's Third Stone vinyl on 78 and 33 speed, it tells a story about an alien ship crashing, and it has communication with the mothership. Nice. Well, there you go. Ryan says, no, Muddy H. Rose says, we can't see Dave. I know what you're talking about. Who's Dave? Oh wait. Did did it not show you this guitar? It didn't, did it? God damn it. So this is the one I was talking about. Fucking hate this program. Here's the headstock. You can see it better there. So just wasted time talking to myself. Apparently I like doing that on this show. I'll get back to normal service. Not doing that sooner or later. You know what's happened? I can explain this. It'll make no sense, but they've added an extra button that makes no sense. That if I want to show you guys something, I have to press a button. But now I have to press two buttons, and the other one only shows up if I go to a certain part of the screen. Otherwise, it's incognito. It doesn't appear. So if I want to take that away, I gotta press two buttons to take it away. I gotta bring it back. Normally, I would just do that. I can see it on my screen right now. It looks like it's back, but it's not back for you until I press another button. I absolutely hate this software. If you're ever going to do live streams on YouTube, do not use Ecamm Live. It is crap. It used to be fantastic. Now it's crap. Anyway, apologies for not showing you. I'm just talking about it as if you could see it. But now you see it. Oh, Jesus. Scott says, the jacket is a tattoo. Only the cuffs and lapels are leather. Oh, that's interesting. Richard says, tells my phone autocorrects to telly. There you go. Ryan says he plays a biker guy in the Village People tribute act. He might, you never know. He's got something going on. T says, I think the alien band crashing is true. It's the Stones. Very interesting. Very interesting. This is quite a theory, T. I remember what I wanted. There was something I wanted to say at the start of the show, and I was like, I'll wait till later on. I'll talk about it in just a minute now that I've remembered. Al says, Fogarty did admit that he overdubbed some of the bandmates' parts and songs. I can see that could cause discourse among the group. That would for sure. Richard says, Dave's not here. Yeah. Anyways. To what I was going to say about, because we mentioned tribute bands at the start of the show, and I was going to say, I was chatting briefly on Facebook with a member of a Guns N' Roses tribute band called Abuse Your Illusions. Trev, if you're watching, howdy. But yeah, it was just one of the things, and I made a comment which sounded like I was being a dick, and I didn't mean to be. But sometimes I come across like a dick, I understand. But my comment was, I love the way there's always one guy in a tribute band who doesn't even bother dressing up like the guy he's supposed to be. So in Trev's case, he's in a Guns N' Roses band. The dude who's trying to be Slash, he dresses up like Slash. The dude who's supposed to be playing bass looks like Duff. And the guy who's playing Axl takes it very seriously. And then there's Trev, who's just rocking around. He's not even attempting to look like Izzy. And he made a very good point. He's like, I'm not 20 years old and 9 stone. So it can't be Izzy. Which is true, but I actually genuinely think it's a great thing about tribute bands is that some of the guys get dressed up and everything. Like I've seen an AC/DC one, and the guitarist was the only one who dressed up. No, the guitarist and the singer. I suppose those would be the main guys anyway. But the other guys were just dressed in like normal rocker stuff, like a Guns N' Roses t-shirt or an AC/DC t-shirt or whatever. They weren't putting any effort into acting or being like their counterparts in the actual band. And even the guy who was playing Angus's parts, like he did wear like a the school uniform outfit, but he didn't, like he just stood there playing guitar. He didn't put any act into it whatsoever. And I think that's kind of funny. I actually think it's an endearing part of tribute bands, and I've seen quite a few of them. Some of them do it better than others, but hey, it's all fun. And yeah, there's a lot of tribute bands coming my way soon, so I'll go check some of them out. Anyways, just want to talk about that. Let me know if you have any fun theories or ideas about tribute bands. And if you've seen some, or if you've been in one, let me know in the comments there. Because we've got about half an hour to go. Let's try and stretch it out. That's what I'm trying to do. Stretch it out. Benny says, anyway, the Squire Jag could have a better finishing work. There are scuff marks on the fretboard going 2mm in on the treble side. That's quite a lot. Any suggestions for fixing it? I'm considering returning it. It doesn't sound great, Benny. Might be a return job for me. I mean, if it's not annoying you or it's not going to cause you any issues playing, then maybe it's a return job. But if you're going to have to do a lot to it, I would return it probably. Glenn says, Chord Dave is huge on Venus. We need to figure out how to get the views to show up on Earth. It's a good point. We do. I had a bit of an argument with YouTube this week where I told them that my channel performance is a bit ridiculous and they need to do something, because for the first month ever, I had 0 new subscribers last month. And I said to them, this is weird. Something's not working right, because I'm getting the same number of views, but no subscribers. And what it, basically said, like, help me figure out what's going on here, because it's bullshit. And they came back to me and said, basically, that's normal. It's not normal. It's never happened before. It couldn't be normal if it's never happened before. And yes, I'm still talking about the YouTube stuff before Muddy H2O jumps in. It is normal. It happens to every guy on YouTube at some point. But no, that was their response. They're like, everyone goes through ups and downs. I'm like, yeah, I don't mind going through ups and downs. 0 is ridiculous. And basically they were purging accounts. They did mention that they remove inactive accounts, which I think means if you don't watch this channel for an amount of time, YouTube removes your subscription. I don't know why they would do that, but apparently that's what they're doing. So yeah, so I'm going to just ask you guys to be very vigilant. Make sure you are still subscribed to the channel every time you watch a video. Just throw an eye on the subscribe button. Just make sure it says subscribed, because they've been pulling subscription numbers from this channel for quite a few. We've lost a few hundred at this point, and that's annoying. But I just got to get on with it. Just throw that. And then thankfully, in the last week or so, last couple of weeks, the channel's been doing better. It's been getting more views and it's been getting more engagement as well. So I think maybe they turned the lights on a little bit because I told them to stop being dicks. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Of course, it would help if I put out a video or 2 each week, but I plan to do it this week, I promise. Al says, I want that guitar. The Batman one? Hey, maybe someone will make it as a guitar kit. Who knows? Muddy H.O. says, does that guitar come with the matching tights? And Al says it better. I think now it does. Nella's here. Good to see you, Nella. I hope you're doing well, my friend. Late again. What did I miss? No such thing as late on this show, as I said, but it's launched to you. What did you miss? Lots of cool stuff. We're talking about aliens and do they rock? All kinds of things. Ryan says, no money, just a cod piece. Yeah, which he has enough of those. Doesn't need any more. Al says, Nella, everything. So far. Whatever you do, don't touch the red button, that's great advice from Glenn, to be honest. Yeah, Al said, this red button. Let's just leave all the buttons alone, guys. Well, hang on. What color is the subscribe button? Just make sure that's pressed. Just the ones. And the like button. Those are good as well. Al says, I do it. I guess that calls for a timeout. The raccoons are on the loose. Look out. No, we wouldn't put you in a timeout, Al. That's solely Glenn's arena right there. It's just Glenn who gets timeouts. But not this week. I promised him no timeout this week. So, which I think is the second week in a row. Glenn says there's a Kiss tribute and AC/DC tribute bands playing local soon. Those be fun, I think, to go see. Al says, does the AC/DC band have their guitar player wearing schoolboy uni? The one I saw a few years ago now, it could be 4 years ago now. They did, but like as I said, he stood there still like static for the whole show. He didn't really put a whole show on. But he wore the uniform. It was quite funny. And that's what I mean. Like, I love that kind of people. Clearly the other members of the band were like, "You're Angus, you have to wear this." And he was like, "Fuck it, I'll do it, but I'm not doing the rest of the stuff." So anyway, that's how I remember it anyway. Glenn says, band meeting rule number 1, we dress the part as a tribute band. Rule number 2, don't question rule number 1. Okay, Glenn. You make the rules. We got it. Al says, I think we need to get Dave to play in a band wearing the schoolboy uni. I don't know about the schoolboy uni thing. I don't mind standing on stage with other people and pretending I'm playing guitar and not actually playing guitar so that I don't sound terrible. That'd be the best thing to do. Although I think Muddy H2O and I should go on a world tour, just talking about guitars, which ones we're going to buy and which ones we're not going to buy. I think our will we buy this or will we not buy this conversations are quite fun. So yeah, we should share them with the world. I think. Scott says Nickelback were the unofficial, official Metallica cover band. They do Metallica better than Metallica. Interesting. Interesting. Ryan says a friend of mine convinced a group of us that the Tragically Hip were playing a small gig out in a cottage country 4 hours away, which they do sometimes. This, however, was the Practically Hip. Damn it. Yeah, I wouldn't like to be that friend. I'm pretty sure they got they wouldn't have ended well that night. They might have got a couple. They were buying everyone's drink for sure. Glenn says the playbill shows them all dressing the parts. Yeah, they should dress the parts. But it's funny. There's always one. Richard says that's tragic. Yeah, it definitely wasn't hip. Richard says. There you go. Nella says anyone play Squire Paranormal Stratosonic. Thoughts? Sounds good to me. Dylan Talks Tone says the pups sound bad, but he says that about all P90s on cheap guitars. He builds pups for a living. Yeah, I have my thoughts on Dylan Talks Tone. He's good. I've heard people playing those guitars, and with YouTube compression and all, you can't really tell how good a guitar is. But it sounds good to me so far. What I will say is Landon Bailey's did a video about his one. I think he went out today. I watched it today, and he said he's going to do a comparison between that and his Gibson Les Paul Special, and that'll be a fun video. But pretty sure there is they're not going to be top quality because they're in a guitar that's like €400, so they're not going to be the best. But the P90s in my Epiphone, I've said it 1,000 times, they are great and they sound really good. And Colin's done side by side with Gibson custom shops with P90s in that one, but he was like, it sounds as good, so, or maybe not as good, but like almost as good. So it was like he played 3 different SGs with P90s in them, and they sounded great. So yeah, Colin Guitarista's video, check that out if you want to know about cheap P90s, because that Epiphone has them. They're great. Now these Fender ones, I don't know if they actually are P90s, but they're, because I think don't think they call them P90s, they call them something like Fender single coil pickups or something, or special single coils. But it'll be interesting to see. I don't know. Look, Dylan Talks Tone is great, but as you say, now he makes pickups. He sells pickups for a living, so I would put a little bit of maybe just caution on that, and try and hear as many people playing them, or play one yourself if you can in a guitar store. From what I've heard, they sound great. I think they look great. That's the other thing. Al says, there you go, Glenn, you got carte blanche. Upstairs to the right music. Hey Mike, how are you doing, man? Great to see you. Says Queen tribute band playing down the way here. Funny. The Queen ones are always great because they like to their Freddie is always goes one way too far, one way or the other too far. And also, trying to play guitar like Brian May is an interesting thought. People don't always get it right. There's one that plays here quite often, Queen, and they spell it weird. But people are like, "Ah, Queen are playing." It's like, it's not Queen. But yeah, great to see you, Mike. Hope all's good with you, man. Glenn Bailey says, I think Muddy has pics of Dave in the school union. Listen, it appears that Muddy's not going to share those pics, so we're all thankful of that. Yeah, I'm not gonna, no. Al says, then Dave should start paying Muddy using super chats. Hey, you know, Muddy, if he started a channel, I would be super chatting him quite a lot. Don't tell him because he'll start a channel. The Practically Hip show was still pretty good. We had a good time camping out at the lake. There you go. Good times are good times. I probably still had good music, even if it wasn't the actual band you thought you were going to see. Richard says, Dylan thinks the only good pickups are his pickups. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. I didn't want to say it, but that is kind of what I think. You know, there are lots of great pickups out there. And cheap pickups, I mean, the difference between cheap pickups and expensive pickups usually is just the name on them. So, I mean, I'm going to get a lot of people pissed off saying that, but there is great pickups that are not expensive. So, having said that, and caused quite a lot of trouble in the guitar community, let's roll on. Al says, not true. He hasn't replaced the PRS and the Les Paul pickups, but he likes expensive guitars. Hey, listen, nothing against Dylan whatsoever. I'm not trying to say anything negative about him at all. But yeah, I don't watch his content a lot, so I don't really know what he is or isn't doing. But what I would say is anyone with a vested interest in the product, they have their own product, I'm going to be weary of their advice. I'm going to take it on board, but also just make sure it's backed up by several other people who are not selling various products that would go well with it or be a good upgrade for it or match it or something like that. Nothing against them at all whatsoever. Not trying to be negative towards them. I would just say take a couple of other perspectives in as well. Ryan says, yeah, Richard, that gets old quick with Dylan. He tells viewers that they can just buy a cheap guitar, put his pickups in, and it will be magic. You know, he makes a product, he believes in it. I can understand where he's coming from on that, and I wouldn't be too critical of him backing his own product. But yeah, some dudes would. And I don't like to criticize people. I'm really trying not to criticize the guy. He does what he does. Fair enough. Yeah. Look, he makes pickups. Apparently his pickups are great. I've never played them, never used them, so I don't know. But yeah, I would just say, look, when it comes to gear reviews, take his opinion on board, but just check some other people too. That's all I'm saying. And again, not to be negative, not trying to have a go or attack him at all. Good for him. It's going to come back. He's going to watch this and be like, what the fuck are you saying? Nothing, I promise. Scott says, Dave, are there any little known guitars that you'd think more people should know about? Thanks for everything. Great show as always. Thanks, Scott. That would require a lot of thought, I think. There's all kinds of guitars that are that people should know more about. There's probably like things like, say, Fender Katanas, I think are great, but are very little fan base for them, or they're not widely known about now. I think they're great. I think they're super cool. Little V style guitars. Yeah, things like the Barney Kessel doesn't get an awful lot of attention these days, but those are fun. The Gibson signature Barney Kessel guitars. I don't know. I'd have to look into it a little bit, but I think there's definitely lots of stuff out there, and I think that's what Guitar Wishlist was all about when I was doing that series. And there's more of that stuff going to come on the Patreon channel as well, where because I'm digging through different books and different things to find other guitars for it. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much what that was about, making videos about cool guitars that no one knows about. Even if the only way you can get one is buy a really old one. But there you go. Let me see. Yeah, I'd have to have a think about that, Scott, to be honest. But yeah, off the top of my head, those would be a couple I'd think of. Al says Dylan did a video where he explains what he looks for in pickups. That's interesting. That'd be one that'd probably be worth watching for sure. Um, Glenn says it's Queen, not Quinn. It's not Queen, it's Quinn. There you go. That's something like that, yeah. Um, Scott says we need an original lineup White Zombie comeback. Do we? Nella says not knocking Dylan. I have the Stratosonic and it sounds good to me through my Blues Junior. I move knobs to get the sound I want. That's great, Noah. Yeah, like the most important thing is, does it sound good to you? And you're saying it does. That's great. I think everything I've heard about it sounds great, and I'm very interested in picking one up. The only reason I haven't picked one up, I'm saying earlier, is because they're sold out everywhere. That I normally buy guitars from. So if I can pick one up, I think I will. Glenn says it's not the pickups, it comes down to the speakers you play through. I mean, are we talking about tone speakers here? We get people angry, saying controversial shit like that. Glenn, you might have to get a timeout for stuff like that. Just kidding. Ryan says Dylan does make some nice pickups though. That white telly with his double barrel pickups he just posted was cool. I have no idea. I've no idea about it, so I'll take your word for it. You know more than I do for sure. Al says in defense of Dylan, Phil McKnight spoke very highly of his P90s. I have a set of his DAFs, which I haven't yet installed. I'm toying with either my Epi or PRS Les Pauls for those. Yeah, look, I'm sure his pickups are awesome. I haven't used them, and I'm not going to badmouth them or I'm not trying to badmouth them or talk badly or negatively about them. Similar, what I'm trying to say is a similar thing like with Andertons. They make great guitar videos. I wouldn't trust them in terms of if I was looking for a review for something, because they're just trying to sell guitars. That's their main business. That's what they're doing. The guys at Thomann, same thing. They're great. They make fantastic, very fun videos, but they are trying to sell those guitars. So you got to find independent people who don't have any skin in the game at all, even if it's parts that can be upgraded. I think, but I'm not knocking them, and it's a great business to be in. I'd love to be in the guitar business at some point in the future. I probably will try to be at some point. In more than just having a YouTube channel type of way. But yeah, I'm sure his pickups are great. Like, I'm not trying to knock him in any way, Al. So yeah, please don't think I was. Just that sometimes you gotta look around. That's all. Benny says the playability on the Squire is fine, Dave. I can't really say if it's a lifer yet, and it's definitely not enough. It's definitely enough to affect the resale value, but if it's one of a FSR, it's probably a lot. It's probably a lot of them. Yeah, that's true. It's an interesting theory. Anyways. Yeah, I'm not. It'd be a tough decision. If it's playable, I'd probably keep it. I mean, there's a couple of flaws in my telly that came last year, but I was like, you know what? It's probably not going to be a problem for me. Occasionally I will spot one of the flaws and be like, ah, damn it, I should have sent it back. But yeah, playability wise, it's still great. So I just kept it because that is a lifer. I'm not going to be getting rid of that, I don't think, anytime soon. Nella says, Phil McKnight demoed a set of DTT P90s and he loved them. My post wasn't meant to knock Dylan, just curious about others' opinion. Yeah, it didn't sound like you were knocking them, absolutely. And I think maybe I went on a ramble and it sounded like that. But again, I wasn't trying to be negative. Al says, I think Dave doesn't like Dylan because Dylan won't say good stuff about Harley Davidson. Harley Quinn, Harley Benton, Barbie Benton. No, wait, Harley Benton. No, I have no interest in whether he talks nice about Harley Benton or not. Yeah, I've no interest in that. I've no interest in like the boycott that a couple of those channels did. It doesn't. I don't care. I think it's stupid, but I don't think it's worth me having any negative things. Certain things some channels do piss me off. Um, Faking being bigger than you are and buying views, buying subscribers, and things like that. Um, Openly talking about doing those things and things like that. Those are the things on YouTube that annoy me. I'm not saying anybody in particular does that. But there's a couple of guitar channels who, there's a few guitar channels who've done shit like that. And there's a few of them out there who are quite big and who try to use their influence. And in fact, there was a couple of guitar channels in particular went after a couple of brands, basically trying to blackmail them. And they got shut down pretty quickly. I just don't like seeing that. Like the whole boycott thing, it didn't bother me, but I just don't think it's right at the same time. So now that we're talking, now that I am kind of digging my toe into it, and I shouldn't. I think that was unnecessary, but it's not that that's not the reason I don't like it. I'm just not personally a fan, which is fine. There's people I'm a fan of that I'm sure he wouldn't be. Probably not a fan of me in any way, and that's fair enough as well. Anyway, I'll stop trying to dig my own grave here. Dylan's fine. Other guitar channels are fine, but anyways, what I should do is I should probably buy some of his pickups at some point and figure out what I think of them, give them a good review. Glenn says, did someone say Harley Quinn? Scott says, I'd like to try Ibanez Paul Gilbert micro. That'd be interesting. Yeah, I'm not really sure I would actually. I'm not sure I dig that guitar. I say Gilbert looks cool. It's pricey. Well, you're in that upper echelon, Glenn, so I'm not surprised. Buying the guitars that Muddy H2O was buying, the super expensive ones. Glenn Bailey says, I heard the original Gilberts were awesome. Yeah, I'm sure they were. Al says, time to go. My wife's taking me out for dinner for Father's Day. See you next week. Have a good one, Al. Take care of yourself. Muddy says, later, Al. And Nella says, happy Father's Day, all. Glenn Bailey says, happy Father's Day, all. Take care and stay away from the red button. Indeed. The synonym for fathers, mother effer. There you go. Scott says, ask Mark A on the record, what's the best Fender? I'd have to think his answer would be honest. I think he would give you an answer. He does talk about Fenders like he did when he was at Norms and stuff still, when people are asking about it. Vincent Doyle says, pickups might, put simply, are copper wire wound around a magnet. The more you wind the wire around the magnet, the more output you get. That's pretty much it. The tone doesn't really come into it. Yeah, it comes down to how they're wound and what kind of quality, I suppose, materials are used and stuff like that. But essentially, you are bang on 100% there, Vincent, as usual. Nella says, what gear are y'all gassing for? Get anything new lately? Well, yeah, Muddy H2O keeps sending me guitars. So, pictures of guitars. That he's like, you should buy this, and he keeps trying to get me. But I have a big list of stuff that I could be buying if I wasn't, as I've said lots of times, trying to get enough money to buy a house together, which in Ireland is rough because where I live, the house prices are ridiculous right now. But we won't go into that too much. That's a whole other channel I need to start. T says, Aaron Short gives his honest opinion on gear he has. He is trying to gig with gear and then review it. Very cool. Yeah, definitely worth checking out, that for sure. Benny says, enjoy all, both of you, of course. Indeed. Let me see. Right, Glenn says, I'm gassed out at the moment. Gassed out, that won't last. Nella, I'm still waiting on my USA Greenie Standard any day now. Otherwise, it's a CS Telly and an R9 next. See, you got them queued up, which is a great way to be. All right, guys. Well, look, I think we'll try and close up the... We'll try and close up the stream. Muddy, thanks for that picture. I'm not going to share it with the gang, but thanks. I appreciate it. You can throw it in the Facebook group and everyone will have a good laugh. Guys, yeah, listen, it's been super cool. Thank you so much for joining me. Thanks for putting up with the eCam issue at the start of the show. Again, we won't be using them anymore, so yay on that. As always, super fun chatting with you guys. I love you. I appreciate it. It's been cool. I'll talk to you next week. Look out for some more videos, and I'll be back with another guitar-related video very soon. But until then, take care. That's the wrong fucking picture. Damn it. That's the right one. Okay, cool.